I don't know how this man didn't sue this TV station. Then it cuts in.
Could you imagine giving it your all, and then you see this on TV, and they got a whole ass animation of a monkey?
I feel like you shouldn't be a K-boo after the age of 24 to 25. I think you should be an adult enough to Google or at least know that what you see on TV is not reality.
Somebody who's 23 is like, oh, I have 1 year left.
I can be a K-boo for 1 year. I only say this because of the whole, like, your brain develops at 25. And I also know I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was like 21, 22. So I'm trying to give it grace. I honestly think after 18, you should not be a K-boo. Like, you should know better. But I feel like somebody who is sheltered and is 18, they might not know better. But when I see older people moving like what is, according to ChatGPT, a K-boo, it's very confusing to me.
Because I know that with like certain things, like people create a paranormal
relationship.
That's not the word.
It's parasocial, I think.
There we go.
Is it parasocial?
It's
relationship?
parasocial. Yeah,
Let's double check before somebody's like, "You idiots."
While you do that, I'm gonna take a protein drink.
Is it called? Yeah, you're right. It's parasocial. It's a parasocial relationship.
So people create parasocial relationships with like actors that they see on TV or singers and things like that. So they're like, they believe that this is what that person is really like. And people who like listen to K-pop and like watch K-dramas or like consume Korean media, once they create a parasocial relationship with the other, I think it fills the void that they're looking for. Facts. To a certain extent. Like I even had that situation happen to me as well when I like was listening to music like SNSD.
It filled a void.
It filled a void. Like I was trying to find something that would make me happy. And their music did that for me. And it wasn't like, oh yeah, anybody who's not SNSD. Like I wasn't those kind of stands.
You're on like a huge stand, yeah.
Like I just really enjoyed their music.
Yeah.
But there are people who take it a step further.
Very much further.
And like, I did come to Korea, 1, to study, and 2, because I wanted to achieve a goal. And learn about the culture a little bit, like much more, and like be more immersed into like what Korea is actually like.
Yeah. And
I was able to fulfill that. But I think also like I wanted to do music. I don't think I wanted to be a K-pop artist. A little bit of me did, but I wanted to more so be a part of a boy group in order to perform. Yeah. It didn't matter where it was, but because K-pop was popping at that time, I came here, you know,
to discover stuff.
Yeah. To like, to try things out, to see like whatever. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of did happen, but
I mean, you're working in what you wanted to work in right now. Yeah. Like you're doing it. I have a loaded question.
Yeah.
Before we end.
Before we what?
Before we end, we're almost at an hour in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't even ask any other question we were supposed to ask. I feel like we did a lot more blackness in K-pop, but
niggas in K-pop,
basically. Ooh, it's gonna be loaded. Okay, how do you feel? I don't know if I'm asking these questions right.
You're not.
How do you feel about foreigners being in K-pop?
What do you mean? What
Let me do my wig shake.
You mean?
Like there's a lot of K-pop groups now who have even back in the day, because being Chinese in a group, you're still a foreigner.
Yeah.
Let me ask that question again.
Please do. I know where this is going. Go for it.
We're good friends, so you should know where this is going. How do you feel? I feel like I'm not asking that. Like, how do you feel? Or what do you think? What do you think about? Let me say, what do you think? What do you think about foreigners who look foreign, so non-Asians, being in K-pop?
Shout out to them for achieving their goals.
Their dreams. Hopefully, if it is your dream.
Man, this is so rough.
It's a lot.
How do I explain this?
Especially being a K-pop fan from back in the day.
And being involved in like
the K-pop industry. Now. Yeah. How do you feel about it? And when I say, I mean like being in the group, not like backup dancers.
Oh,
being
girl, I know
in-
exactly what you're talking about.
No, they might not.
Oh, should I just say the name?
No. But how do you feel about K-pop, non-Asians, non-Koreans being like the front of K-pop now? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you think K-pop is still K-pop when you have black people and white people in K-pop singing K-pop songs now? That's how I wanted to ask it in the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes to what? I asked you, how do you feel? Not are you okay with it or are you not okay with it? I think that yeah means like you're okay with it.
I'm
right?
indifferent.
Yeah.
Because one, it's not affecting me.
At
Two, they're doing what I wanted to do when I was younger. So like, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Three, what they're doing is not my business as long as they like aren't shitty at it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as a foreigner in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
you already have to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you're us.
Mm-hmm. You're Nyoko.
But once you are a foreigner in a group of Koreans,
Mm-hmm.
or if your whole group is consisting of foreigners,
Yeah.
you all already know what time it is. Like, you should know that,
You're gonna receive a little bit of hate.
you will.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just how society is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. Don't know why it won't change,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just how everything is.
Yeah.
But just be aware that, you need to work hard and you can't release mediocre material. And sometimes, unfortunately, that's what the company gives to the artist. And sometimes the artist will deliver mediocre vocals
Mediocrity.
/ raps.
Yeah.
And it's not about anybody specific. I promise you. She's laughing because she's crazy.
Something popped in my head.
But yeah, it didn't. Wild. But this is not directed towards anybody. But I will say that you need to come with your guns blazing.
Yeah.
And
You know what I
it's
find
yeah.
funny? I think it's funny that people hate on these people who are foreigners in K-pop now when K-pop wants to be westernized. Like, you can't make anything Western without having somebody Western
Well,
in
they
it.
just want Western money.
Ooh, now that's a word. They do just want Western money. But it's just funny that...
Ooh, Jesus be a biscuit.
I thought you peed on yourself or something. I was like, what happened? I just feel like a lot of the complaining about foreigners, especially black and white people being in K-pop, comes from other foreigners who are K-pop fans. I feel like Koreans do not care. Like, I've never heard a Korean complain about black or white people being in K-pop. Like, I've
Which
never
is crazy because
seen
like
it.
I've seen some groups that have foreigners in them, and
Yeah.
I've like looked at the YouTube comments just to see like what's up, like
Yeah.
how people are seeing them. Most of them are from Korean netizens or just avid just.
Koreans?
Oh, I can't say this in English.
What is it?
Jinagan.
Passing by? Koreans who are passing by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like you know what I mean, right? Drive-by listeners.
Koreans who are driving by? Yeah.
Like people who are like,
who don't know the group, but they just saw it and commented.
yeah, like they're just like randomly stumbled upon this video.
Yeah.
They watched it.
Yeah.
And they're leaving their comment.
Mm-hmm.
So like those people, their comments are like not bad at all. They're like,
yeah.
oh, like this group is interesting, or like, oh, like I like this foreigner's like style. She's so pretty. Blah blah blah. He's so pretty. I'm like, wow. Like, scroll down a little further. This group don't deserve any fame. Like blah blah
Why
blah
is a
blah.
black girl in this group?
Yeah? Why is there a blah blah blah? And I'm
It's
like,
like,
ooh,
ma'am.
hater in English.
Yeah, it's like, okay, man. Like, I don't know. I find it funny because most Koreans actually appreciate seeing foreigners engaging with their culture.
100%.
They really appreciate when they see
100%.
it. But it's usually the hate coming from other foreigners. And I'm just like,
Which is crazy
just
to me.
mind your business.
Just
Just
mind
don't
your
watch.
business, or you level up and try to do something like
Facts.
this. Yeah.
Like, why are you hating? Like, clearly a company is backing these people up for a reason. It's not like they're funding themselves, you know? Like you can't fund yourselves to be a
literally
K-pop group.
can't. Yeah,
Yeah, you
literally
have to
can't.
have mostly a Korean, like a Korean entertainment company funding you. So I'm always like, when I see the hate, I'm just like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all can block people, right? You can block a page. You can stop watching a page. It's the internet. So I always find that interesting.
You have free will. Like, I don't
You
know why
do.
you just won't like move your thumb a little bit further down to click
Leave
block.
the video. Like, I don't know. It's just very strange. Now, I do have to say, some music that I've seen out there it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but I just don't watch it. Like,
It's not for me.
I'm not gonna sit there and comment. Like, commenting on something you don't like is crazy to me.
Yo, that's so much energy.
It's
Like,
crazy.
I've stumbled upon old videos that I've watched before.
Yeah.
And I like read the comments and like suddenly my comments there and I'm like, this is from 12 years ago. But it's nothing bad. It's like, oh my God, I love this. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love how this artist did that. Like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just me commenting on some silly shit.
Yeah.
But
Leaving
to comment a
hate?
hate, like something hateful,
It's so strange.
why?
It's so strange to me. I always see it and I'm just like, are you okay? Just
It's
don't
so
watch.
weird. Just like don't watch or just like you didn't like what you saw. Like I know one dude I know got like he posts a lot of unhinged slash out of pocket things on Instagram physically. And one dude messaged him was
Physically? What do you mean by physically?
like, you know, showing body.
Ah.
And some dude messaged him was like, oh, I don't like the content that you post on Instagram. I'm like, in my mind, and he was like, so?
Yeah, I was like, just
But in my mind, I'm
click
like,
off.
like you don't have to watch this.
You literally don't have
Nobody's
to watch
making you. Nobody's holding a gun to your
True.
head and like watch this video.
It's the internet. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I find that to be so strange. I guess also because I run this podcast and some of the Instagram comments are so unhinged and I'm always like, just click off
No, truly.
or just block.
You could literally do
page.
this, like swipe, and the
And
video's
you're off.
gone.
But for
Yeah.
you to sit there, watch a whole video, and then leave a negative comment blows my mind. I honestly think it's not normal.
I think it's funny. It's wild.
It's funny when I end up having to mess with them, and I'm just like, you're not okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on to talking about being black in Korea, which is like such a hot topic. Anytime anybody's talking about it, it's such a hot topic.
Being
Are you
brown.
ready, Colin?
I'm always ready.
She's always
to
ready.
talk about my blackness.
No, some of these questions are going to be very hard to like. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the first question?
Yes.
How do Koreans perceive black people?
Strong, athletic, sometimes hardworking, depends on where you're from.
Listen, nah.
Lies.
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 Yeah.
Cool,
Mm.
trendy,
Mm.
interesting to look at.
Not to be to look at. Just to look at. Aesthetics. What about the stereotypes that you hear a lot about black people in Korea?
For me, it's mostly like stereotypes about Americans,
Black Americans or just Americans?
American in general. But I have had people. Look, I have no shame. I have nothing to hide. Well, hold on. Rewind. Reverse. I am not ashamed of anything,
Yeah.
but at the same time, these questions, hearing them a lot, is like really, really annoying. They think black people are like wild in bed, like sexual
yeah.
things, like
Yeah.
sexually related things. And
Damn, you are a dude, yeah. Even though I've also heard some stuff. Yeah.
but like for me, like just because like I'm not. I don't care for like conversations that are sexually charged
There's people you don't even know, yeah.
And like a lot of my friends aren't the same way. Like if it comes up a conversation, like yeah, we'll talk about it casually, but it's not like something that stays on my mind all the time. But like people asking me like, oh, you must have like an anaconda in your pants. I'm like,
Big
okay, cool,
dangling.
whatever. Or like asking like how black women are in bed. I'm like,
Bruh.
why don't you ask?
a black woman or don't find us. Leave us alone, please.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like dumb. Some.
Let me help you.
I don't even like stereotypes in general.
Nobody likes stereotypes.
But
Even the
it
good
seems-
ones sometimes are like,
Like, really?
Like, we're not all
Athletic?
like
I can't
that.
even jump.
I can't even jump. Jump man. That boy up to something. Something
This is me
robotussic.
shaking my invisible bob.
But I feel like another one is that we're poor.
I've never had that one.
Like, it's not saying that I've heard it. It's like a thing that Koreans assume sometimes.
But
I'll
know
give you
what?
a.
I think they only think that about Africa, and I'm not saying that to be like that.
That's facts.
But
Actually.
every time, like, if I say I'm from America,
Mm.
they immediately think that like I have coin. Like they don't like the first thing they don't mention.
No. Okay.
You know what
Okay.
I'm
Let me
talking about, right?
let me take you back a little bit
Please do.
to a situation we've been in.
Oh,
Remember the lady that you were trying to see her apartment?
I know exactly what this is.
Remember that lady? A part of
보고
why I'm 갈게요. You can tell the story in a bit, but I feel like a part of why that lady acted like that is because not only were we black, but I feel like she had a notion that we didn't have money.
Oh well, I didn't at the time either, but she didn't have to know that.
You were like, I mean, facts. I was poor.
I was very broke back then.
but
COVID
I
was
feel
rough.
like I feel like that's a preconceived notion, but it definitely is more to Africans. I have noticed to certain African countries they do act like they just are all broke, and I'm just like,
They still. Was it you that I showed that video to?
which one?
It wasn't.
Okay.
So there's this recent video that I saw. I'm gonna have to send you the link later. It's
Yeah.
actually really out of pocket, and
Yeah.
when I saw it, I screamed, and then I showed it to the people on the bus with me, the foreigners, and they also screamed because
What
it's
is it?
ridiculous. They had this black man, not even in a dashiki, like just dancing to music. And then they pan over to an animation of a monkey swinging in a forest with zoo sounds in the background. It was fucking ridiculous. And it's like, I think I saw it and I was just like,
Oh,
wait,
what?
let me see if I can find it now. Because
I
if you
think
want
you
to.
sent it to me. Funny enough, I think I have seen this. Isn't it the dude who dances just like really wild? The
No,
really thick man.
he was a thick man. But let me see if I. Oh, man.
Oh, you have seen. Oh, you showed me this. Okay, so let me tell you guys the context of this film because you didn't tell it in a context where it makes sense why we're talking about Korea. You just said this video. So the video is of this black man, African probably, dancing in 이웃집 찰스. It's like this Korean TV show, and he's just dancing, but the TV show, it's not funny. It's really fucked up. But
That's why I screamed, though.
then the TV.
Because it doesn't make it's really out of pocket. It is not even like it's not like this came out 10 years ago. This is some recent ass shit.
It's so out of pocket. Then they
It's ridiculous though.
I'm gonna cry.
That's why she's crying.
Then they cut. I'm literally about to cry. This is so stupid. Woo! Then they It's not that funny. Then they cut to him. I don't know how this man didn't sue this TV station. Then it cuts to
Could you imagine giving it your all and then you see this on TV and they got a whole ass animation of a monkey swinging from one side of the screen to the other with an elephant in the background?
Then it cuts to him doing like the baboon thing. The baboon thing, and the monkey swings across. What is the context of this?
Do you want? I see exactly. You can't. I can't even give context. I don't know what.
Why is there a monkey swinging across on my screen?
It's
Like
just-
it was okay. So the context is actually no the context. He was doing an African dance, and he finishes the dance, and he's like, actually put the video, dance like this, and then a monkey swings across the. They edit a monkey to swing across the screen. Korean sometimes is so unhinged. It's hilarious.
But it's like
it's pure comedy at sometimes. Like sometimes you can't even be mad because you're like, who even thinks about these things?
I'll send it to you.
Like, how do you sit? I think you show me that video because it's not the first time
You're gonna see it again.
But I'll put it on the screen actually. But sometimes you just have to laugh because what?
What were we talking about?
I don't even know. But it reminds me of like when
All the
that
stereotypes.
TV show. Yeah, that TV show where Pada was talking to her son, and the son goes, "No, Pada, the singer. This singer was like, oh, you have to eat your bread," and the son goes, why? Because Africans only eat dirt. Have I showed you that one?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Just such unhinged things.
Well, there was a TV show called Hello Counselor.
Yeah.
And this is back when Samuel Chidi, shout out to you, was still like he wasn't famous yet.
Yeah.
And they had some, I think, black students or African students go onto the show and to like express a grievance that they have with their lives, and they were fluent in Korean as well. So one dude was sitting on stage explaining that he doesn't know why people treat him the way that they do. Like they think that he's dirty. He's like, we're not dirty. We're just like literally like we're people too.
Yeah.
And excuse me. He said that they're people too. And I don't really understand how you can think that
just because somebody's skin color is different, it makes them
dirty. I recently, and I don't know if I told you this, I probably did. I was waiting for the elevator to go home, and this pedar guy, this delivery guy came to give somebody their food. And I live very high up, so I was waiting for the elevator, and he stopped whatever he was doing, looked at me.
What'd he do?
He rubbed his hand across my palm and was like, "Oh, you're so cool." And I was so stunned that I couldn't even say anything.
It's always like that.
But I was like, because this is
he
the
was
first.
Just like, you're so cool.
Just imagine you're doing that, like you're on your phone. Somebody. Whoa. I was. This year, a couple months ago. A couple of months ago. Last year, a couple of months ago.
He's like, we're last year. 2024.
In 2024, you rub your hand against my skin. Totally unprompted.
Unprovoked. That's crazy.
No questions.
None.
Just touch me.
No conversation. No hi, how are you?
And
no
I do notice that in Korea, there's a lot of spatial unawareness.
In fact, yeah.
Which is like whatever, like to a certain extent I can tolerate it, but like once you enter my bubble, like and he didn't, I know for a fact that he did not see it the way that I did.
Of course he didn't. Because for him, he sees it as curiosity.
But I am not in a zoo. I'm not a zoo animal. It's actually, it's wild. Like,
bro.
Again, there are people who are not like this, but
of
like
course.
the experience at that moment, like I was in awe.
Yeah.
I think my jaw dropped in front of him. I was like, and then I got in the elevator, started asking me where I'm from. I didn't want to reply, but I was like, this motherfucker's getting off at the 6th floor. Might as like
just let it go.
Let it whatever. And then so he said, "Have a good day," and I was like, he's not a shitty person, but he literally just touched me
without asking.
And I know for a fact that he would have never have done this if I was white.
Yeah.
Or anything else, like any other race aside from being black.
Yeah.
And
you should have been like, "씨발, 나 웡숭이 같아요? 나 웡숭이 같아?"
And then grab onto the rope and just. But it's just like things like this. Like I know.
They don't happen to anybody but black people. Is that what you're trying to say? Because true, it doesn't.
I just don't think that people understand that your sense of appreciation can also be seen as a form of disrespect in somebody else, as like from someone else's perspective. And I've had to correct people that I even have to work with
Oh, child.
about certain things, and they don't see it the way that I do, and it's not because I'm sensitive, but like you just don't do that to other people.
Yeah. It's just also like cultural. Like, because obviously they didn't learn in a class full of non-Koreans. They just don't think it's not
But you can
anymore.
ask, like you can ask.
That's the
I
thing.
don't want to have to explain myself about my
Yeah.
blackness to other people,
Yeah.
but I understand if this is not the life that you've lived. We
Mhm.
don't have the same life, obviously, because I'm one, not Korean.
Yeah.
You're not black.
Yeah.
You're not even from the same country as I
Ooh,
am.
that's the next question actually. Mm-hmm.
So we, at some point, like we have to have like a cultural exchange so that you
Mm-hmm.
can understand like where I'm coming from and I can understand where you're
Where you're
coming
coming
from.
from, yeah.
But to just do things that are completely unprovoked and just to think that it's okay.
And step in your personal bubble.
Oh my god, it was weird. It was weird, and like
Yeah.
I'm a very big introvert, and I barely like talking to people I don't know, and I'll do it out of courtesy just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a rude person, but like
Yeah.
at that moment you touched me. I don't know you. I don't know where your hands have
Oh,
been.
Jesus.
I almost said something really out of pocket. But
Mhm.
anyways,
Yeah.
I just don't understand why people think it's okay to do things to black people, because I've heard stories. I don't have hair, so I've never had this problem.
I
But I
have
know
the story that you're about to say. I
yeah,
have had this
like
problem.
people like having like black people specifically having their hair touched
Mm-hmm.
because Koreans think that it's like fascinating to look at. And I'm like, okay, why? I know like our hair texture is different. There's
Mm-hmm.
4C and a bunch of other
Mm-hmm.
hair types, but I'm like, you could literally ask if somebody's comfortable with you touching their hair, because we don't know
Yeah.
where your hands have been. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't wash their hands
A
when
lot of
they
people
use the
don't. And
bathroom.
this is girls too. Some women would just leave the bathroom without washing their
So
hands.
it's like we don't know where your hands have been. Hygiene is very important for us, but like we know that people do wash their hands, but that is not the point.
It's not just a dirty hands thing. It's
Why
just disrespectful to
are
touch
you
someone.
touching me
Yeah.
without asking? Because I'd never do that to you.
I would never.
I wouldn't even do it
Even
in my own
somebody's
country.
child, I would
I
never
wouldn't even do it in my
touch.
own damn country.
You don't touch people without
You just
asking.
don't do that. And I feel like here it's so common to just like
Invade that space and
invade
just
somebody's
grab
privacy just
something.
because y'all grew up in the same cloth. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I recently, obviously under this unit, I have cornrows. I recently was at the bus stop and I was on my phone and I had headphones on, my Sony headphones, so they are noise canceling.
Yes.
I felt a presence behind me. I look back and it's this Korean lady just like this is my head behind me. This is my head and she's just
Mm-mm.
like looking and she's like so beautiful and I'm like 감사합니다.
Smelling all
And
their
and she's
products.
getting closer and I have to like move my head back and like look back so to make sure she doesn't touch, because after looking usually the next step
Is touching.
is touching
Without
and
asking.
grabbing.
Yeah.
Of course, because she's not. And you know, I've said 감사합니다 in a way that she should know I know Korean, and she can ask. But asking is never the second thing that they're gonna do. They're gonna reach and just grab.
And their hands get stuck.
Can you imagine? The suation of the nation would happen if somebody's hand got stuck in my hair. But
And then they'll blame
yeah. Next question. How have your friendships and relationships in Korea been affected by your race, if at all? Has your blackness affected any relationships or friendships that you've had in Korea?
Friendships, not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, a lot of my friends in Korea are black.
Mm-hmm.
Foreign friends.
Yeah.
Korean friends don't really. I wouldn't say they don't see color. They're very aware.
They don't see color.
They're very aware that I am like not obviously a foreigner and I'm black,
Yeah, yeah.
but they don't. It's not like a point of our friendship.
Mm,
Like
which is great.
we just vibe together.
Yeah. They just so
And
happen to be black and they so happen to be Korean.
Correct.
Yeah.
relationships completely different. Completely different.
Was it completely different, Colin?
I think. Well, first of all, people in like a lot of Koreans in Korea, from what I've observed and from information gathered from close friends that are Korean
Mhm.
or non-Korean,
Mm-hmm.
Koreans tend to prefer to date within their own race. It's
Quite normal.
which is whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't have a big deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the least preferred race in terms of dating in Korea is
The black race.
And I mean, that's almost everywhere.
Yeah,
But
we're in terms of socially black. No, because black men in some places are actually number 2 or 3.
did I say almost everywhere?
You did say almost everywhere, innit?
Boom. So
Yeah.
it's to be expected, like whatever. But I had a little ting not too long ago. Well, it was long ago. But I remember we were talking and they were like, "Oh, I was talking to my friends about you and they seem to like you as a person." But they were like, "Oh, he should have been born Korean." And I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
oh, okay." So
Interesting.
we stopped talking.
Yeah, I would also chop that line. 'Cause that's
Because
crazy.
it's not even like I know that some people's mentalities are like their own to have, but your friends are literally an extension of you.
It's a mirror of you.
So I feel like if they have the same mentality, if they have that mentality, you do too. And they, while we were talking, it seemed like they were also like slightly in agreement in regards to the situation. So I was just kind of like, it makes no
Yeah.
sense for me to entertain this any longer. You were ugly to begin with.
Oh! Damn.
I was mainly there for the personality
You
and free food.
ugly anyway! And free food is crazy. Call it.
I wasn't even broke then. I just like,
Just got free food.
yeah.
Who says no to free food?
They cooked for me, so I was like, might as well.
I'll take
but
the
like,
food.
just it just. I thought that people were bigger than that,
No, they're small.
so I was
They're
just kind
tiny.
of not blindsided. I was just like, whatever. Like, I tend to be the type that doesn't really express how I feel deeply
Yeah.
about a situation.
Yeah.
So I just kind of move on quickly. And in other people's eyes, like from other people's perspective, it seems like, oh, he like literally didn't care. But I care about the situation, but I'm not gonna let that affect me. And I think that's why I'm so nonchalant to like people being like disrespectful. Like I can easily cut anybody off. Like I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Now if you're a very, 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 very close friend, I tend to give more chances. But a casual
But
friend,
a close friend would never say some dumb stuff.
well, yeah, like
that.
nothing racist like that.
Yeah, that's just weird to say.
So yeah, for relationships, I just don't see it for me. I mean, I'm in Korea, and if I meet someone who's like not even down for the brown, but just down for being a human being, then like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I would prefer that. But if they don't, then it's like whatever. Like do you, I'll do me.
Yeah. It is what it is. Has anybody in Korea ever asked you to give them the N-word pass?
Have they?
To let N-word pass meaning let them say the word.
Nigga pass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who asked?
but it was at a club.
Was just
I didn't give it to them.
They were just like, can I say the word the N-word?
Because we were there was a song that came out that
Ah.
obviously had the word nigga in
My
it.
nigga, that one?
Probably.
Probably.
You know, a lot of these songs got the word nigga in it, and
Yeah.
you know I can say it with my full chest.
Oh,
But
you can.
everybody else.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh man, just let me say it," and I was like, "No, absolutely the fuck not! Like, calm down."
I'm not about
I don't
to.
understand why people want to say the word so
So
badly.
bad.
It's like that's like me running around. No, I can say that too.
It's not the
I-
same. You can't say that. I just okay. so for me, my situation. You know my situation.
Yeah.
My situation is with who do you think would ask me in my life to say the N-word? You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, her?
No, who? No. Oh my God, no. She's not that dumb.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I would.
Shut up.
I think.
Shut up. No, you wouldn't. No, you
No, I
wouldn't.
really wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
But like, if you said it, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be too shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked because I feel like he grew up his whole life saying that shit. Like,
So, context.
He looks like he's from like the
The
Bronx.
hood.
Like, the,
The
like he looks
hood.
like he's been swimming around in niggas for his whole life. Like I wouldn't be
But he's
surprised.
literally a Korean man from Korea who's never even, barely ever left Korea. For context, for people who are watching, because I feel like it's a lot of inside jokes that we're making right now. I have a Korean, I don't think I would consider him a friend anymore. I think I would say he's an acquaintance at this point. I have an acquaintance who is Korean, doesn't look Korean. Like you would think he's, as Colin said, from the Bronx or something like that. But this man begs me every year for me to let him say nigga for his birthday. Like he would be like, Paris.
That's his birthday present.
Yes, like he wants the N-word pass for his birthday. He's like, 제발, 나 그냥 한 번만. And I'm just like, no. I'm
Hold on,
like,
kid, you say.
oh yeah, I'm like, 그냥 한 번만 쓰고 싶다.
Oh.
한 번만. I was just like, no, I'm not letting you say it. And I told one of my friends I saw recently, I told this story where I was like, yeah, I have a Korean friend who just really wants the N-word pass for his birthday. And he was like, it's all fun and games until he gets on the seat for his birthday and goes, you fucking
Okay, so I've also thought about this too. Because if I give you one chance to say it,
And he
you
uses
might
it on
use
you.
it. Yeah, like I would never let another like a non
Nigga, just say
nigga, non-nigga. I would never let like a non-black person
Yeah.
say nigga, but like, what if you use it on me? Like, like, am I being used as collateral right now? Like, this is ridiculous.
You're
Like,
the
I literally
test
gave you
sub-
permission to say it, and
You're
they've
the
been
test subject.
with their whole chest.
Because you know if you give it, they're going to say it with their whole chest.
Not even to a song. It's gonna
To you!
or they'd be like, there's a song. It's like, oh, I'll kill that nigga if he blah blah blah. They look at you with their hands like this, and I'll kill that nigga. Oh my god.
Bro! When my friend said that, I would be like, I would never give a not. Well, first of all, I would just never. But I was like, now it makes even more sense why I would just never let this man. Even if it was his dying wish, I would never give it to him.
I'm about to die.
He looks like the type of person to ask me as his dying wish to say it. Like he's a
The image
hilarious.
of his face just popped up in my head.
Because you know, like it makes sense why he's the one who was in my circle that would want me to give him that
He's
present.
like on the edge.
His toe is inside. His body is outside right now. Yeah, his finger is inside. But I was just like, why do people who are not black want to say it so bad? I mean, technically, you can say it if you want, but just I'm not giving you that pass.
I can't answer this question because obviously I've been able to have
The
I've
privilege.
I've had
We have the
my whole life.
privilege to say
I've had privilege
saying
my whole
it's
life,
privilege
but
to
it's
say
kind
the
of
N-word is
like-
crazy. But it's
so
so
true.
weird.
Yeah.
What about hair? Like for them to like braid their hair or like get dreads. Have you ever been asked? Oh, you're still black.
Nobody asked me for permission.
But, I mean, you're still
hair-related
black.
Things.
Like, has any of your Korean friends been like, oh my God, Colin, I really love dreads or braids. Like, can I get dreads or braids?
I tell them that if they get it, do understand that there will be people who
Or staring at you
are
funny.
100% against them getting dreadlocks,
Yeah.
and they need to understand where the dreadlocks come from 1st before they get them.
Or even braids and cornrows.
Twist, dreads,
Anything,
breads, anything
yeah.
that is nigga coded.
Nigga coded.
Be aware that there will be some repercussions from your actions or desires.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I don't understand how people can look at something and be like, oh, I want that specific thing. And it's tied to a whole different like culture
In history.
and history.
Yeah. I don't get it either. Like,
I would never be like, come straight to Korea
and just.
and
What's,
throw my ass inside of a hanbok store and be like, ooh, that's what I want. I'm going to walk around the whole entire city in that.
But no, that's different though. Because people actually do that.
But
guess
that's for,
without
like,
knowing
that's
the
a tourist
cultural-
that's like a tourist attraction.
Yeah, but
thing, like-
saying niggas not and wearing braids is not like a
But there's like history and like culture tied to it. There's like
hanbok or with the N-word, you mean? Both actually. Both.
Yeah,
Both.
but
of 'em.
like especially with nigga, it's like with
whole
everything in the culture. There's a
thing.
there's something rooted in it that like
Yeah.
that gives it something like an
that
like
makes it the history
that makes it what it is.
Yeah.
And for black people, nigga's one of them. And for
it's
us
a
as
sad
well.
history that
Yeah.
people are trying to remake and like take the word back, which that's another conversation in of itself. But I
That
just
I will not be having. 'cause
I would
I'm
also not be
fully-
having. Yeah, I'm,
equipped for that conversation.
I'm not Dr. Umar. Maybe he'll tell
Okay.
us a little better.
These out here, these snow bunnies.
They're calling everybody snow bunnies. I don't know. I just found that interesting. But I would never give that man the N word pass. Like, I don't even care if he gave me 10K. I'm still not giving that pass.
What if it's $1 million?
I'm still not giving him that pass.
I
He
feel
probably
you.
says it in his car by himself.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Anybody who asks has done it.
They've
has
done
it.
They're just
without you
asking
being
for
there
permission to be
say it in front of
polite.
you. No, to
just-
say it in front of you. Just that's it. Yes.
What role does your race play in your social interactions with Koreans? Is this something people bring up often, or do they generally focus on other aspects of who you are?
Ooh.
Now that's a question.
Oh.
Do they see you for you, or do they see you for being a black Colin?
To anybody who's watching,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shaking or anything because that was a loaded question.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to answer.
You want me to help you?
No. So,
No.
for me,
Yeah.
it's not even 50-50. It's like
I think it's 70-30 because of the job you're doing. Like you're in the
not even the job I'm doing, just like who I am as a person. Like not like my skin
Mm-hmm.
and how I present myself
Mm-hmm.
are within the same realm
Mm-hmm.
and on the same level,
Mm-hmm.
but what they're focusing on first changes every once in a while.
Yeah.
So for those who did not watch the first episode of this podcast, hi, I'm Colin Dean. I am 186 centimeters tall, which is also 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
And I am slim fit.
I thought you said slim thick. I was like,
I'm
okay, Colin,
slim
slim thick.
No,
Yeah.
I'm very skinny. I have
Yeah.
no ass.
You're getting like your abs in though.
Oh,
like
my
you're
abs are
slim,
already
but you're
there. No, my
muscular.
abs are there now.
Muscular at some point.
But yeah, I'm not bulking up, but I'm building definition in my body, like physically. So when I wear tank tops
Mhm.
or things like that, obviously the first thing you see is my chocolate skin.
Yeah.
For today, as I'm dressed like this,
Mm-hmm.
I normally don't dress like, how do I put this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't wear a lot of color mostly,
Yeah.
but I do wear colors, like some accessories with like an accent of color, like a
Mhm.
hint of color, or
Mhm.
like I'll wear color every once in a while. Like it's
Yeah.
not rare,
Yeah. For you to have color on.
right? But most people will comment on my fashion sense first before they mention that I'm a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people will point out that, oh, you have such good skin, and then point out my fashion sense,
Mm-hmm.
and then ask me a question about being a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's always the order is always different, but
It's in there.
but the key points are always there. Fashion, height,
Mm-hmm.
skin,
Yeah.
and skin tone. Those
Mhm.
four.
Yep.
So it hasn't impacted me because I've gotten work from it. I've been street casted before.
Yeah.
I've been typecasted for roles.
Mhm.
Tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it hasn't. I don't think it's negatively impacted me. Wait, what was the question even?
That's what I'm looking for right now. Oh, okay, there you go. What role does your race play in your social interaction with Koreans? Is this something people bring up often, or do they generally focus on other aspects of who you are?
Oh, I was kind of on the right track.
Yeah. I think for me, I think my blackness is definitely a focus because of the job that I'm doing.
Right.
Like as entertainers, most of the time you're picked because not only your talent, but because of your skin. Because they want a black model, because they want a black actress.
They need some diversity in their
They
brand.
they need a diversity hire in a music video or something like that, and you get picked for that. So your blackness is definitely something that they do point out a lot. Like as a black person in Korea, I've been the first to do a lot of things that other black people have yet to do. When it comes to being the first black girl to shoot a wedding, like a wedding dress shoot in Korea, being the first one to be on a wedding magazine. Like certain things that just baffle my mind that I'm the first, that I'm just like, I mean, snaps all around. But it's like, why? Like, why are black people not getting such roles? Like, why am I the first when it's 2024, 2023, 2020, like 2019
I have an
technically?
answer, but I just like
But-
don't want to say it.
Or like certain things that I recently landed my first role in a K-drama, and the role was actually originally supposed to go to a white girl, but the casting director really fought for me to get the role.
Shout out to him or
Her,
them.
her. And it's like automatically they will make a foreigner in a K-drama white until somebody comes in and is like, black people can do it too. And it's like, that's interesting, you know? You know? So yeah, you're black. I think my blackness is something that is
No,
is
you're right. Then, yeah.
yeah, your blackness is something that's definitely going to be pointed out a lot. It's not something that's ever going to be ignored because it's a huge factor of who you are in Korea, because you're not Korean and you're not light skinned. Like, you're not pale.
How do
You
I
have
put
melanin,
this?
you know, like a lot of melanin.
I 100% agree with you that your blackness essentially comes first.
Yeah.
When people are looking at you. How do I put this?
It's a hard question.
I've been
to
a
answer.
nigga my whole life, so I don't have to second guess it.
Right.
I don't have to overthink it.
Overthink what? Being black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just am. Like I'm just black. So when I wear things and go outside, I don't really go outside with the whole mentality of like, oh, I'm black and I have this on. I just go out with like, I'm wearing clothes. I dress the way I wanted to, so I'm just gonna go outside. And I'm not saying like, oh, I go outside and I don't feel black and blah 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 blah. I just go outside as myself.
Yeah.
I don't go outside trying to be anybody else but me. So when people talk to me, I don't see it from the perspective
Of your black?
of me being black. I just see it as them wanting to talk to me because I'm interesting. Until they bring up my blackness.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that, damn, until today, I never really had to
You
think
never thought about it?
Well, because it's never been addressed to me like this, one. And two, I've never had to really focus in and be like, oh, well, maybe this is actually what it is.
Yeah.
Because when I was talking to my trainer about, he was talking to me about like, you know, confidence and stuff like that. And I was like, look, like, as you can see, I'm a foreigner and people are already going to look at me no matter what I do. And I'm tall and I dress the way I want to. I don't follow trends. I don't necessarily dress the way other people typically would.
Yeah.
In Korea. I just do my own thing. As long as it's not offensive, I do my own thing. So people are going to look at me regardless.
Yeah.
No matter what I do. So I just have to learn how to stop. I had to learn how to stop caring and focusing on myself. And just, you know, that's the only way I found, I guess, self-love. Yeah. And he took that and like learned from it. Not learned from it. He had nothing to learn. But
Literally.
he took that and
Understood, I guess.
understood it and
Yeah.
understood where I was coming from. But I think after saying that, I didn't realize that the first thing I said was I'm a foreigner or I'm black. Like, so it doesn't matter what I do. People are going to look at me. So yeah.
Can't change your
like
skin
you
color.
Said,
No, you're black
is
first.
you're
Yeah.
black first. Yeah.
Like, there, I don't
It's
think
before
there's
anything.
literally. I don't think there's anybody who's black in Korea who can convince me that they're not black first. Nobody in Korea who's black can convince me that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're black
I mean,
first.
I know,
and
I know
it's
I'm black
okay.
first,
Like,
but I just don't think about it.
yeah,
That
'Cause
way.
that's what they see first. You know, they don't see like. I don't even know how to put they don't see a talented person. They don't see someone who's trying to make it in life. They see a black person first. Also, this happens a lot with police officers in America. Some of them will see the blackness first.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
They don't know your story. They don't know anything about it.
They don't know
just see
anything
your
about it, and
things,
they don't care at first because that's what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Anyways, how do you feel about the representation of black people in Korean media? Do you think it's changing? This will be a last question. Do you think the perception of black people in Korean media is changing?
Very slowly. I guess it's getting better. It is.
Yeah.
Aside from that video, that's playing in my head right now.
Yeah.
Aside from that video that we talked about earlier,
It's crazy. Yeah.
I think it is getting better. but like at such a slow pace that it feels like there's no real progression. Um, you know, again, this is a homogenous country, and this is a whole different culture
Yeah.
from what we're accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
But if a lot of your media plays off of black aesthetic and cater and takes from black culture, I feel like at some point you have to understand, like, oh, we like this so much, why are we not using these people more often? You'd rather hire somebody who overly tans their skin.
Bad. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
You remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you were
That's
going.
another. That's like a reference that
Mm-hmm.
I can use as well for that. But you'd rather hire somebody with tan skin.
Over like not tan skin as in they're
I'm
just
sorry,
dark.
an overly tan Korean,
overly tanning themselves.
like
Korean.
deliberately going to a tanning salon to be darker than they already are.
Yeah. Yes. And then the photo being edited to make you look
darker.
black. Yeah.
You'd rather hire a hairstylist to give your model who is not black 4C
Curls and
curls,
an
afros.
Yeah.
You'd rather there's just so much. Like I just because I did a hair show recently. Don't play me. They gave me a wig, and the wig is stellar.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the models, she's black. She's also from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
One of the, I don't know if I can say this. Well, they won't know what.
They don't know who you're talking about.
Anyways, the hairstylist tried her best to do the style that she originally wanted to do on my friend.
Yeah.
She wasn't successful at it. My friend did her hair completely by
Herself.
herself. But my friend credited the hairstylist.
Crazy.
And not because the friend was sympathetic towards homegirl, but she's still getting paid. And she can't go up on stage and be like, this is my hairstyle, and embarrass homegirl in front of a whole ass audience.
Yeah.
She could have. Honestly, I would have been that petty.
I would have also been that petty.
We know you would have been. But
Yeah.
it's just like you...
It's like you knew this girl was coming. Why couldn't you just practice
Yeah.
or see hair?
You hired her because she had black... Like, she's black and she has the hairstyle that you wanted to, I guess, fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to properly prepare yourself for something like this.
Person to come in, yeah.
The whole show was honestly kind of wild to me for all the Negroes that were with me. Shout out to you all. You all did an amazing job. But it's just...
It's the black
Koreans
experience.
see it... First of all, they see working with foreigners as being difficult every once in a while. Then they see it as being harder to shoot with black models because hair,
Makeup is different too.
foundation that they don't have here, sizes for clothes because we're all also built differently.
Yeah.
But they think it's just a black thing. And lighting.
Lighting is a big one.
It's just, I don't know, like, I don't think they want to go through the trouble of having to understand.
I think also a lot of them just don't care to understand.
Oh, that almost made me cry.
Why?
Because that's
Not your fault.
No, no, like the whole, like, people not wanting to understand because they don't want to try. I think for me, like, I've never had to say that out loud. And hearing myself say that from all the experiences that I've had and hearing from the experiences of my friends and like people around me who are black and have been in this industry with me for a while, it comes down to them not caring. and not wanting to go through the hassle of putting us where we essentially deserve to be in a lot of media, not even just in Korea, but like worldwide, but just
Yeah,
like we're
'cause-
talking about Korea,
Yeah.
but not wanting to put us in the same light as others just because they don't care enough to do so, and or don't want to understand
Or
what it takes to
research
put
or
us
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And again, there are stylists, hairstylists, makeup
Makeup artists.
artists, brands, and even some like networks that absolutely loves niggas. And I mean that from like my core. I've had makeup artists who come prepared with foundation ready for black people, hairstylists that surprisingly know what the hell they're doing. Not for me, but like stylists who pull from black culture but are very aware that they pull from black culture and like don't hide it either. And they're not ignorant about it either. But it's just so far and few in between that it just feels
Very.
so like if these people can do it, why can't you? And you can't
Yeah.
expect everybody else to have common sense or just to be prepared to be equipped for you. But you know what this is. You know what you're dealing with. Why don't you, like, it's just like, it's more the sense of why don't you ever just come ready?
Yeah, because you know who you picked to be there.
You hired,
Like,
you
we
literally are
didn't just
spending
show
money
up.
for me to be here.
Yeah, we didn't just show up. Ta-da! Like, you hired us knowing how we look.
Right.
But I think the question of if is it changing? It is changing. I think seeing like back in, like what?
I realized my answer was so long-winded. I
No,
barely
it's
even
okay.
answered your question.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think it is changing because if you look back at the first time I came in 2014, I don't think there was black representation at all in TV.
Yeah.
Well, as now you can see like Jonathan is doing his thing, Patricia is doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. Like there's black people now in TV in Korea, very few in between, very few in between. So yes, it is changing, but it's still breadcrumby.
Yeah.
Like it's like a sprinkle here, sprinkle
It's like
there.
they throw a coin at you, but like,
Yeah.
here's big one.
Yeah, but like a lot of the other races will get like the whole bread. For
Yeah.
us, we get a crumb, which it's understandable in the aspect that it's not our country. Like, who are we to be like, we want space too? But it's still a little sad. Like you can't
100%.
just act like it's not sad. Like it's breadcrumby. Like it's getting better, yes, but I don't know. It's interesting. It is changing.
It'll
though.
always be interesting.
It's always going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I just hate when I do, like, it's good for me, I guess, when I do something and I'm the first black girl to do it. But I just hate that it's 2024 and there's still first that we have to conquer. 2025.
Do it again.
I just hate that it's 2025 and black people still have a lot of firsts compared to like other races where their firsts ended like 10, 20 years ago. Like 10, 20 years ago. But for black people in 2025, it's like we still have firsts that we're trying in Korea, which it's hard to complain because it's not my country. That's the problem. It's like, to what extent can you complain about this?
I
And
mean, but
want
you're
ex-
also human. Like, you're
Yes.
allowed to feel what you feel, but it's how you react to whatever you feel.
Yeah. I
that
mean, I wouldn't
determines
pick
what-
it about it. I wouldn't protest about it. Like, that's crazy.
Sometimes I feel like it, though.
You need more niggas. You need more niggas.
Need more niggas.
Yes, I feel that, but it's being in Korea and being black is just such an interesting experience. Is because you want to be vocal about how you're being breadcrumbed, but at the same time, it's like it's not your country. So can you really complain? It's
And y'all
like
are also paying my bills most of the time.
facts. Like it's such a difficult predicament to be in. And you know what's crazy? Recently, somebody had commented on our Instagram. I say our Instagram like I'm not the only one doing this whole channel.
Correct.
On the Korea Unfiltered Instagram, telling another person who commented, and they were like, black people are viewed better in Korea compared to white people and Latinos or Latinas. And that blew my mind.
Crazy.
I was literally like, and this is a white woman.
Does she live here?
No,
Has she visited?
I don't know. But it's a white woman saying that black people are viewed better in Korea compared to white people and Latin people. blew my mind.
Look at the couple rates. Look at what you see on TV. Look at
There's still
all the
monkeys
signs are
swinging across
there.
this like the screen when you see a black person. Like
all the signs are there. That's not. That's like.
what? I was so confused.
I'd be surprised if I saw a white person on the screen and a cartoon of Napoleon came on.
Stop. That's never gonna happen.
But like,
Never gonna happen.
but why is it so easy for them to throw a fucking monkey, animated monkey on the screen for
For a black
nigga?
person.
But it's not. It's rare for that
white
to happen.
people.
So like again, like, it
It's
comes down to the
so-
situation of like, you feel like it's not right to complain about something, but you see
Yeah.
something that comes off as disrespectful, and
Yeah.
you're allowed to feel like it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But how do you react?
Yeah,
what-
because
like,
there's
what can
always
you-
that
yeah.
person who's gonna be like, "You can leave." There's always that.
I had a foreigner.
Uh-huh.
I read a comment one time. A foreigner commenting on another foreigner's video about Korea,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Go back to your country." I was like, "You don't even live here." It wasn't even about
Not
me, but
even
it was
your
weird.
country. I find that like rebuttal to be so interesting to me. Oh, if you complain about Korea, go back to your country, and it's always coming from people who are not Koreans.
But it's wild.
Like what? Like I feel like some people don't understand. Most countries in this world have people who are not from there,
100%.
and they're always gonna have discomforts because, of course, it's not their country. What? I can
Like-
see your socks.
Ooh.
I just don't understand. Like, I feel like people should be allowed to talk about their discomforts where they're living, even if it's a homogenous country.
Yeah.
I would never be in America and hear a non-American talk about the hardships they're facing in America and be like, just go back to your country then.
I would be like, "Damn, that's fucked up."
Like, Like,
I hope
blows,
things improve.
like, nah, go back to your country. Like, you shouldn't be complaining about it. You shouldn't be talking about it.
And why is that the first insult you run to?
I don't know. I don't know why leave or go back to your country is the first. I would never tell somebody. Like if even a white person was to go to Kenya and they were having discomforts, I would never be like, go back to England. Like, what? Especially if it's a valid complaint, I would never. That's crazy to me. For a black person to be like, I'm having this discomfort, and for somebody to be like, go back to your country when you're being paid and you're working in this country is crazy to me.
Like, I'm earning a living here, and I
And
appreciate
you're
the-
paying taxes. Let's also
Yeah.
say that.
and insurance.
And a freaking pension.
You are.
I'm paying a pension. Like, we're paying all these things because we have to be, I don't want to say, like, I'm not saying citizens as in like a citizen, a Korean citizen, but we have to be proper citizens living here, not citizen as in Korean. Like, please get what I'm trying to say. Like, we have to be
We're
law-abiding
residents. We're residents.
residents. We have to be
Yeah.
law-abiding residents. That's why we are doing all these things, and we have to do all these things because we live here. So why is it that we can't voice why is it that we can't voice our discomforts about Korea? And why is it that so many foreigners living outside of Korea have problems with foreigners living in Korea talking about their discomforts of living in Korea?
And I don't think I would have felt all of these, like, grievances
Yeah.
as strongly if I didn't work in the industry.
Damn.
Because it wouldn't have been thrown. It wouldn't
Because
have
your
been.
blackness is not thrown in your face like that if you're
Right.
not in the. Because in entertainment, it's black model, black actress, black this,
Like, you
black
get
that,
castings
black
like
this.
black model needed.
Yeah, and they're like 흑인 model on set.
Yeah.
흑인 배우, 흑인 드르르. Like,
Yeah.
it's your blackness is thrown in your face constantly.
Yeah.
So there are gonna be discomforts about that.
Yeah.
That's a dialogue. That is a dialogue. Anyways, Jack.
Conversation.
It's a conversation. Are you okay with us ending this episode here?
Oh, I'm
or do
perfectly
you have
fine with that.
anything else?
My lips are dry. I'm dry.
I need to drink water.
I have
I need
nothing else
some water.
to say.
Honestly, guys, there's so many questions that I haven't asked. So if you guys are interested in seeing another episode where we can try to dive deep about being a black person in Korea, just being black in Korea, comment down below and I can have Colin come back because we had like 15 questions and I think I asked you like 3 of those questions.
Yeah. And I will say
Yeah.
before you
Wrap it up.
wrap it up,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy living in Korea.
Of course. I feel like that's such an obvious too.
It's because
Like
I'm still
it
here.
sucks that it sucks that we always have to say that so people understand. Like our complaints are not saying we hate Korea.
Because I literally don't hate Korea.
blows my
It's just I'm so accustomed to a certain mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and coming somewhere where everything is like where things are like flipped upside down and thrown in your face,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not.
Like, you're not different where you come from.
Right.
But you come here
Like,
and you're
I'm
like,
different in America, obviously, because, you know,
everybody's different, I
Yeah.
guess. But here it's like everybody's the same, but you're the difference now.
but I just really don't like inequality. And it just feels like, you know, if you're going to treat white people one way, like, and treat black people like they're, like, pay them dust
Whew.
in certain instances, it just feels so, like,
Low-hanging
it feels like a backhanded slap.
It's a slap.
Yeah, essentially it's a bitch slap. And
Yeah.
I don't like being felt like I'm being bitch slapped
Yeah.
at every turn.
It's like,
Yeah.
like a white person who has mediocre talent will get a role before a black person who has the talent they
Their
need for the role.
credentials,
Yes.
requirements, the chops, everything.
And I'm not saying this because I hate white people or something like that. It's just a known fact in the industry. They will hire a mediocre white person before they hire a black person for that role. Am I going to protest about it? No, I'm not. I'll let my talent speak for it.
Speak on it, sis.
It is what it is. But yes, let's wrap this up by saying, yes, we love Korea. We're still here. We're paying taxes because I know somebody's like, leave the country. That's
The sarcasm has jumped out.
because it's like, there's always somebody. There's always that person who thinks
Yeah.
leave Korea is the answer to everything. But anyways, well, if you do pay my flight, housing, a car, and give me, what is it called? Allowance for like 20 years, I'll leave. Then
That
I
part.
would pack my bags tomorrow if you do that for me.
You gonna take Mia too?
Yes, I'm taking Mia with me. So if you're going to do that, definitely leave Korea. And if you're not, just
Mind your
mind your absolute bombo clat business, innit?
favor.
It is what it is. Are you ready for us to wrap up?
Yes.
Anyways, Colin, thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me.
2 episodes
again.
in 2025, starting the year right, talking about blackness, innit?
Talking about us.
Niggles, innit?
In all skin tones. Light skin, red skin,
Dark skin.
dark
Oh,
skin,
all the
chocolate.
skins. I almost said red bone. Is red bone like a
Yeah,
insult?
they're black people.
It's not an insult though, right?
Red bone.
Saying red bone? I
They refer
think yellow
to light
bone is
skin.
like, I don't know. I don't want to offend
Well, it's like
anybody.
it's an old like a
Red bone.
term that we used to throw out like when I was in elementary school.
Okay, I'll Google it before I put this episode out, just in case it is now offensive
well,
or
we
anything.
do the ending just in case.
Facts. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching another episode of Korea Unfiltered. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Thank you guys for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. Y'all did that. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the subscribing, the liking, the sharing with your friends, the commenting. Highly appreciate it. We're starting 2025 on high energy, talking with a friend. You know, I had to bring a friend as our first guest in 2025, of course. But thank you guys so much for the support. It's seen. I can see y'all. I see y'all and I appreciate y'all a lot. Thank you guys so much. Let's look forward to a nice, happy, cool, refreshing 2025 full of blessings. I hope that and pray that for everyone who is a supporter of Korea Unfiltered. And guys, if you are a YouTube subscriber, don't forget to like, if you are a YouTube viewer, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Click the bell so you can get notifications for when I post. If you are a podcast listener, make sure you give us 5 stars so we can get up in the algorithm. Thank you again for watching. Are you DJing because I'm talking fast?
That and because you said podcast
True.
listeners.
Thank you again for watching today's episode of Korea Unfiltered. Again, Happy New Year. Have a blessed 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Be well and prosper.